you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Shalina Diva, the purpose driven diva. I'm a life and business coach who loves to show you how to discover, invest, value, and appreciate your life and business. Specifically, I show women how to create multiple streams of online income on platforms like YouTube, Amazon, blogging, online coaching, and a few other platforms. Welcome to the Biz Lab. Every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I give a free business lesson. Either it's going to be a free online biz strategy or it's going to be a business mindset lesson. I love to do these live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern to stay connected and to really give some on-the-spot coaching. I have had a lot of success doing this, and I can't wait to dive in. So what is today's YouTube Live all about? I'm so glad you asked. Before I jump in, I want to see who's over here. I want to see who's on the chat. If you're here, say hello. You say hello, and I'll say hello back to you. If you would like some on-the-spot coaching, just type hello, then type me in the comments so that I know that you want some on-the-spot coaching, and I will do that at the end of this YouTube Live. So hello to everyone. If I haven't said it yet, Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year. If I haven't said it yet, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. So I want to dive in, and I would like to get started with today's lesson. You know, what is it all about? What is it all about? Okay, so it is all about you getting unstuck. Yes, it is all about you getting unstuck. All right, so you guys know I'm still learning all of this, but it's about you guys getting unstuck. And in order for me to show you how to get unstuck, I have to keep it real with you, and I'm going to give you 3 quick tips to help you get unstuck, okay? So today is about getting unstuck. How many of you are actually stuck? Type stuck in the comments. Thank you, Teresh. She said my hair is everything. Thank you. So before I dive in, who am I? I am Shalina Diva, the purpose-driven diva. I'm a life and business coach. I'm an award-winning speaker. I'm a best-selling author, and the DIVA is actually an acronym, you guys, and it stands for Discover, Invest, Value, and Appreciate Your Life and Business. And the name of my book is called Fire Your Friends, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Her Own Best Friend. I've been featured on Dr. Oz, Cosmo, locally in the Philadelphia Tribune, and nationally on Fox. So my story, I always tell my story because I'm always being introduced to new women. Listen, I was not always, the person that I just told you about from the previous slide. I was homeless for about 2 years when I decided to leave my son's father after our 6-year relationship had grown toxic. And when I left on June 18, 2012, I became homeless for 2 years. I lost everything, you guys. So I know what it's like to have everything, then to lose it, to be at the bottom and have to crawl your way to the top. I was so down and out and broken, you guys, that I needed my friends on Facebook to help me raise money for my apartment furniture, okay? I needed my friends to help me raise money for my apartment furniture. And it's such a shame, it's not a shame because God truly humbled me and he stripped me of so many things that I thought I needed, but I was able to really live and be able to tell you that my God's grace is sufficient and he will supply. And one day my friends raised over $1,000 for me to get furniture for my new apartment. So I tell my story of how I went from homeless to 6 figures every chance I get, because there's a woman out there who needs to hear my story. There's a woman out there who, after she hears my story, guess what? She's going to make a decision and she's going to do what's best, and my story will give her hope. So even when I was at the bottom of the lowest pit, you guys, I still believed in myself. I believed that I still controlled my destiny. And if you are listening, you deserve you deserve a great destiny, and you can control your destiny. And so Sasha Ivory said, Indecision. We're going to talk about that. And Sasha, thank you, Sasha. She said that I'm a great inspiration to women. I thank you. And guess what, Sasha? You're going to get unstuck. And Therese, thank you for that comment. When I was at my lowest point, I wrote myself a check for $100,000 because I believed in God's word, Deuteronomy 8:18, that God has given me the power to create wealth. And guess what? He has given it to me, and he's given it to you. And guess what? Everything you need is in your hands, or it's at your feet. Listen to me. Those of you who feel stuck, everything you need is in your hands, or it's at your feet. And this is just a glimpse of one of my bank accounts. As you can see, this was March 22nd of 2016. I need to update this with some more recent, bank statements. But this goes to show you that just 2 years prior, I was homeless. I was down and out. I was fearful. I was so many things. But I am a testament that if you move beyond your fears and you trust God and you put in the work and you do what he tells you to do, and you tap into your power to create wealth, anything is possible. And this is my story. I went from welfare and homeless to 6 figures in a year, to 6 figures in a month. And that is my story. And I wrote my story. I continue to write my story. And guess what? You have the power to write your story too. If you're listening, in the comments, type story in the comments, because you have the power to write your own story too. And so what is my mission? It is very simple. It is to educate, train, and equip women to earn online income so they can focus on their families and lead full lives they love. Why do I focus on online income? It's because a lot of women, they're working these taxing jobs. They don't have a lot of time with their children to begin with. And online income, I found, is a solution to that. And there's so many different ways to earn online income. All of my income comes from online, because there was a time I was looking for a job and I couldn't find a job. I had to turn to the internet, and I always flash this picture of my baby boy because he is my why. All right, so you've gotten to know a little bit about me, right? So I'm going to dive into today's lesson, how to get unstuck. If you're rolling with me, type stuck in the comments. Type stuck in the comments. All right. So everyone, we're here. I'm Shalina Diva. We're here. And so we are going to dive into the lesson about how to get unstuck. I have 3 simple tips for you on how to get unstuck. I told you, if you're rolling with me, I need you to type stuck in the comments so I know who I need to help. Also, if you would like some on-the-spot coaching, I want you to type me in the comments so that I know to double back to you at the end after I finish these 3 simple tips, so that you can, I can answer any questions that you may have. A lot of you are stuck. All right. So what is the first tip? The first tip is you must face your fears. How many of you are afraid of taking that next step? And there are different reasons why. Some of you may be afraid to take that next step because you were brave, before, and you took a step, and you took that step and you fell flat on your face. Or not only that, it was embarrassing and it was discouraging. If that is you and why you're stuck, I want you to say discouraged. Because when you attempt things and then you become discouraged, it's so easy to just never try again. So if you are discouraged from something that you tried to do and you failed, it didn't work out, type discouraged in the comments. That lets me know where you are. Then there are some of you who you're afraid to make a decision because of the unknown. You're afraid to take that step because of the unknown. And you may be the kind of person, you may be a type A personality where it's like, listen, before I do A, B, and C, I need to know that X, Y, and Z is going to happen. I need to know that X, Y, and Z is going to take place. I need a safety net. So you're afraid to make a move because of uncertainty, because of the unknown. If that's you, type unknown in the comments. If, let's just say it's relationships or it's a job or it's like a new way of living and you're afraid to start over. You're afraid to start that job search over. You're afraid to start that new relationship over. Type starting over in the comments. And those are just 3 simple fears, because the thing is, a lot of time fear, it disguises and it masks itself, and sometimes fear shows up as procrastination. A lot of times fear shows up as like, indecision or, analysis paralysis. I don't care what you call it. It's still fear. You are afraid to pull the trigger. So before I go into giving you strategies of moving through fear, I'm going to take a look at the comments and I'm going to see who's where. And if you don't mind, Crystal tells us that she's discouraged. She tried something. It didn't work. And now she's discouraged. And to women like Crystal, I will tell you what my mentor told me. He says, let life touch you, but don't let it kill you. Don't let it kill your spirit. And what that means is, okay, I tried this. It didn't work. I'm going to learn. I will choose to learn from this. I won't let it kill my spirit. I won't let it kill my sense of adventure. I won't let it kill the love I have in my heart. I won't let it kill me. He says, let it touch you, but don't let it kill you. So Crystal, let life touch you. And anybody who's dealing with failure, I tell you, failure is your best friend, especially when you're in the beginning of anything, because failure lets you know what works and what doesn't work. And it also like builds you up and it tests you. So failure is not a bad thing. Okay, Crystal? It's not a bad thing. Let life touch you. Let it instruct you. Let it teach you, but don't let it kill you. I have some people over here. There are a few discoveries. So Therese, the same thing for you. Don't let life kill your joy. Don't let it kill your spirit. Don't let it kill your voice, your sense of ownership, but let it touch you. Then we have Alyssa. Alisa, hi, Alisa. She says, no funds has been the problem. Oh, no funds. A lot of people have fear around. Okay, so Alisa, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You're afraid to make a move because you don't have enough money. Is that what you're saying? If it is, type yes, and I'll know. And I will come back to that. Actually, let me just stay there about money. Here's the deal, you guys, with money. You never have a money problem. Never, ever. What you have is a creativity problem. And I'm going to, Alisa, you will understand what I'm saying when I go through the other 2 tips here. Money has never stood in the way of anyone's dreams or goals. Listen to me. You don't have to believe me, but listen. It has never stood in the way. And let me tell you, how I flashed that picture of me with my GoFundMe? I did not have the funds to get this new apartment and to furnish it. I didn't have it. But I stepped out on faith and God provided. And I have that proof. I can put the link to my GoFundMe where you can see how much money I raised. That's why I'm saying money is never really an issue when you tap into your creativity and you tap into your power of wealth and you tap into your faith. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So never let money or funds stop you from doing anything. All right. And so thank you. And so Crystal's also about starting over. And then yes, I'm telling you, at least that's how you get started over with no money, especially with this online game. The online game has leveled the playing field. You don't even need a lot of money to get started. I promise you, I am a living example of it. And so we also have Sasha is discouraged and starting over. There was another quote. I want to check it here. There's another comment. I believe it was from Therese. Okay, she says, parents who have the earned income credit for taxes, how to invest effectively for my family. I have 2% interest. Deleted one federal credit union check, or should I? Okay, Therese, I will get to that. I will get to that in 1 second, because I'm not even all that knowledgeable in that area, but I will point you into the right direction. So some of you are afraid to start over. Some of you are discouraged, and you voice those. And I clap for you for giving voice to your fears. The reason why you want to give voice to your fears is because you must become aware of what they are. And remember, fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. But you can flip it and then turn it into feel everything and rise. Feel everything and rise in spite of, because of what you see. So many of us will not, we are stuck because we are afraid. You have to question that fear. You know, Elisa just told us, listen, I'm afraid to move out because I don't think I have money. Challenge that. You know, and if you don't have money, and it's funny, I encourage you to read The Power of Broke by Damon John. He actually thinks that a new entrepreneur should not have a lot of money in the beginning, because you rely upon that money instead of gaining the skills that you need to carry out your day-to-day. So read The Power of Broke, Elisa, and I'm telling you, it will encourage you. Those who are afraid to start over, guess what? You'll never know if you never try again. You'll never know if you never try again. And here's the thing. The people who are afraid to start over are the people who really didn't take the time to learn from the last instance. Sit down. What did you learn from that example? What did you learn from yourself? And use that going forward. Remember, let life touch you, but don't let it kill you, right? Let life touch you, but don't let it kill you. So in order for you to get unstuck, you must become aware of what your fears are. And you must, as one of my clients say, you must go toe to toe with your fears. You have to go toe to toe with yourself. This isn't about you, your ex, your boss, your mama, your daddy, your kids, your aunties, your uncles, the pastor, the congregation, your coworkers. This is about you. This is about you. You must take control of your life. You must take personal responsibility. And here's a quote I always love when I speak about fear. The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasures that you seek. I want you to type cave in the comments. The cave you fear to enter, it holds the treasures that you seek. Believe me when I tell you, a lot of times, you know, in society, we treat fear as a pariah. You know, we treat fear as something to be avoided. Many times, fear is an indication of where God wants you to go, where life wants you to go, where you need to go. So if you're constantly afraid of, something, like with me, I was afraid of doing live events. But guess what? Live events was where it's at for me. My business exploded and took off because I took on the challenge of a live event. And it was so irrational. My fear of live events was irrational. And I'm telling you, for many of you, what's at the basis of your fear is irrational. It doesn't even make sense. So start over. Learn how to encourage yourself. Try again. Steer that fear in the face. Okay, and that's the first step to getting unstuck. So if you're with me, type fear in the comments so I know you're with me. And I'm going to move on to the second step of getting unstuck. All right. All right. Hey, Cassandra Davis, how are you? So I know you guys are rolling with me. So here is the second tip about getting unstuck. Girlfriend, you need to make a decision. So many women are afraid to make a decision. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I was younger, like in my 20s, I'm only 27. No, I'm not, but still. All right. I thought it was cute to be like, I don't know what I want. You decide. I don't even know. Like, I thought it was cute. I thought it was like feminine. You know, I thought it was like me, you know, not being assertive and letting a man be a man. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know where that came from. But I tell you, I used to annoy myself when I would do it, but I used to be so afraid to make a decision until I had to make a decision in terms of like leaving my son's father. That was like the scariest decision ever, because by making that decision, I was leaving everything and I became homeless. And my whole world has turned, flipped upside down. And something else about a decision, ladies. A lot of times they say with women, sometimes we're afraid to make a decision. But here's the thing about a decision. Yeah, you can make your mind up and you can change your mind, but guess what? That's not really a strong leader, and you must lead yourself first. You must lead your own life first. Here's the thing about a decision. Take your time, think it through, but once you make that decision, roll with it and own that decision. If you fall flat on your face, if it blows up, if it doesn't work out, if it works out just fine, you own that decision. That is your baby. And guess where I got started with making decisions, right? I would go to a fast food place and I would order food, and you'll be surprised at how many people go to fast food joints and they're so indecisive. It's like, this the same stuff up there. Where's taking you so long? So I started becoming very decisive because it was like a practice. Like, I want a number one with cheese. I want this size. I want that. And it was just funny, even though that may seem so trivial. That was where I just began like really making a decision and sticking to it, because guess what? When you own a decision, it's your baby. It's like, ladies, we have a baby. It's your baby. It's Papa's maybe, but Mama's baby. That is your baby. You have to own your decisions every single day. You don't just set it and forget it about a decision. So before I drop the bomb on some of you ladies about this indecision, how many of you in the comments struggle with indecision? Type indecision in the comments. How many of you struggle with indecision? Type it in the comments. All right, so Sasha, she says she has a strong desire to switch careers. The beauty, Sasha, about switching careers is that, let me tell you how strategic God is. Let me tell you how life is. Those skills that you have learned as being is it CNA or is it being a nurse? As being a CNA, you can transfer them into your business, into your new business. I guarantee you, I will bet you $100 million that you'll be able to take those same skills and you'll be able to transfer it into your new business. Definitely, for sure. All right, so ladies are telling me that you deal with indecision. Let me tell you why you deal with indecision. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Why you deal with indecision? It's because you have too many choices. You have too many choices. Yes, ladies, the more choices we have, the more indecisive we become. And you know what? We forget to keep the main thing the main thing. When you give yourself too many outs, when you give yourself too many choices, too many decisions, when you give yourself too many options, you really muddy the waters and you really make it hard to reach a decision. And I believe a lot of times this is where some men kind of, do better than women with making decisions. I believe women are great decision makers, but I believe that many times with women, sometimes we consider stuff that doesn't mean as much as we think. And let me give you an example. So many of you, right? If you just had to make a decision between, living and dying, right? Of course, that's a no-brainer, right? Everybody wants to live, but you only have two choices, live or die. Okay, I'm going to take live for 200, Alex, right? Now, let's just say, let's take Sasha. She really wants to switch careers. She really wants to do something else. She can either stay at her job or, she could leave and start a new career, right? She could do one or the other. And to me, when it comes to that, I really don't think that that's wise. There are a lot of people who say, if you're not happy at your job, just quit and leave, fire your boss. I don't believe in that. I believe in creating a plan to do that, right? But there are times when we give ourselves just too many options. Okay, too many choices. So let's go back to with Sasha. Okay, she can stay at that job, or she could leave immediately, or she could create a plan that prepares her to work on her side business, as she's working, and give herself a year, and boom, she could leave. That's a third option, right? But then that old fear comes in. It's like, but if I do that though, I'm getting a steady paycheck. Maybe I'll just, maybe this just isn't right for me. Maybe I'll just sit and wait. You now have like really 4 options here. You stay indefinitely. You leave immediately. You stay, but you create a plan. Or then 4 is like, I might put off a year or 2. But here's the thing. It's like when you give yourself too many options, you become indecisive. And let's just say we're going to add on a 5th one. Maybe the 5th one is, you know what? Maybe I'll stay in this field, but I'll look for a better job. Now you have 5 options. And it's like, remember the initial thing she said, my spirit is telling me to go into a new field. But when you tag on all those different options, it's like, what the heck does she do? And you become indecisive. Does anyone see why too many decisions, why too many options makes you indecisive? Does anyone see that? Does anyone see why too many decisions, too many choices? And so if I were Sasha, I would keep the main thing. And to me, this is the main thing. I want to listen to my heart. My heart is pulling me in this direction. It's away from CNA, the CNA field. I want to honor my heart. I want to honor my decisions. So I know I'm not staying here forever. I'm going to respect this. What I won't do is I'm not going to just pick up and leave because I need money to survive. So that's out. I'm gonna respect this call. So I'm not staying here indefinitely. And so those are like 2 choices that are now off of the table. Then it's like, okay, another one when she was like, well, you know what, I'll just look for another job within CNA, being a CNA and getting more money. She's going to listen to her heart and she's going to go into a new field. So why would she get another job to become even a higher paying CNA? Those are now 3 choices that are off the table now. Why? Because she's listened to her heart and she's keeping the main thing. And I believe now that leaves us down to two choices? One of the choices was, you know what? I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay here. She's listening to her heart. So staying where she is not an option. Do you see by the process of elimination, we went from 5 choices to 1. That one was, you know what? I'm at this job and I'm going to create a plan. And within 1 year, I'm out of here. It's only 1 choice. And the way that she got to that 1 choice through the process of elimination is she honored what was in her heart. You have to be led by something, y'all. The problem is we're not honoring we're not honoring the voice that we hear. We're not honoring our hearts. We're not honoring our dreams. And when you are led by that guiding light, it helps you to make the right decisions. Did anyone follow that process of elimination? Did anyone follow that? When you listen to your heart, it will lead you and it will guide you with wisdom to where you need to go. So Sasha, did that make any sense? Can people type sense in the comments if that made any sense to you? How going from all these different choices really brings you to 1 choice. And that 1 choice is going to make sense for you because it's being guided by what's in your heart. It's being guided by your dreams and your desires. All right. So I have some questions while I'm waiting to see if this makes sense to anyone. Cassandra asked, how do you get past the feeling that you will miss opportunity if you have to delay it? Oh my goodness. I had a very wise woman in my life tell me that if something is for you, it's for you. And she would say this, and this goes counter to what our society teaches us about speed. She says, if it's a good idea today, it'll be a good idea 6 months from now. And I would be like, she don't know what she's talking about because, cell phones change every like 6 to 12 months. Somebody's going to steal my idea. Someone's going to do this. And I'm going to tell you, since I heard her say that, I believe it's true. that sometimes when things have to be delayed, I tell you, but when you go through the process and you create, you will find that you are right on time, because you're going to bring a different dynamic to it. You're going to bring a different element that was missing. And a lot of times the circumstances and the people that are meant for you to hear it aren't ready. They aren't ready. So never feel like because something has to be delayed, has to be pushed back, is that you missed the opportunity. It could be that life, and this is what I choose to believe, that life has actually sat up there and life is hooking you up and preparing that for you. So I'm going to go over, yeah, it can be overwhelming. You know what? Making this, I actually enjoy making decisions, you guys. I love making the decision because it's mine. And I will own the decision. If it blows up in my face, I own it. I own it. I'm a grown woman about it, and it's mine. But I tell you, if you be led by your heart and wisdom, you will end up at the right decision. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it'll be the right decision for you each and every time. So I'm looking at Annie Robinson here. She says, okay, so Annie deals with the fear of a company stealing her ideas for marketing my unmanufactured ideas or my ideas to improve upon an existing product. Annie, the way to do that is for you to brush up on your copyrights and brush up on your trademarks and your trade secrets. And even then, when you trademark something, it gives you some protection, but you have to follow up on that. If someone is infringing upon your trademark, it's up to you as a trademark owner to follow up on it. But you can't allow the fear of someone stealing your ideas to stop you from giving birth to your ideas. Be wise, but don't allow that to stop you. Please don't. And then you want to get your non-disclosures, you want to get your trademarks, you want to get your patents, and you want to get your copyrights in place if that is a fear for you. And you should be doing that anyway. All right, so you guys are saying things are making sense to you. Okay, so let's do a recap. What's one? One is you have to face your fear. Two, you have to stop being indecisive. Stop giving yourself too many outs, too many decisions, give yourself too many options. It really comes down to, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? There is no such thing as I'm going to try. Either you do it or you don't. Either you will or you won't. If you keep it simple like that, your decision will be easy to get to each and every time. I promise you. Either you do it or you don't. Either you will or you won't. And sometimes people say it's now or never. No, sometimes it's now or it might be a little later. But you keep it in front of you. So fear, and then we have indecision. So, okay, so now we faced our fears and we made a decision. The last thing, just for today, because I think this needs another installment. The last thing I need you to do is I need you to find your motivation. Many people are stuck because they refuse to get started. And a lot of times we wait upon motivation, especially writers. Writers wait to be inspired by the gods or inspired by God to write. But you know something? If you depend upon that, you're not going to be as prolific as you want to be. And you're going to it's like you're being controlled by something outside of yourself. So you have to become more disciplined, right, for your motivation. But I want to just tell you this. I always believe in this. Let's take a person who's like, oh, I can't run. I hurt my legs. I can't run. I can't do this. I can't do that. Doctor said this. Doctor said that, right? All their lives, they've been saying they can't run. They have like heart issues. They have this, and I'm not minimizing this, right? But they cannot run. Here's the deal. Let that person be out, on the corner, on the streets. Now, if a person's like in a wheelchair or something like that, I'm not talking about them, y'all. But if a person's like, oh, they can't run, let a vicious pit bull come running up the street and start chasing them. What do you think that person's going to do? What do you think that person's going to do? Have a little fun with me. So ladies, in the comments, if a vicious pit bull attacked someone, no, if a vicious pit bull came running and they're running at the person's direction, what do you think they're going to do? This should be an easy one. Type in the comments, what is that person going to do? Let me answer for you. They're going to run. They're going to do the very thing they said they could not do. They're going to run. Why? Because now they have something motivating them. Oh, they have some outside force on them that's motivating them. And I like to talk about the pit bull because those are dogs are just like, but they're going to run. And when Therese said, run, Forrest, run, they're going to run, right? But how many times in your life do you not make a decision until a decision is impressed upon you, until your job fires you? Then you want to start working on your business. Until you get fired, or let's just say a sickly relative moves in and more of your income is being spent towards that, or something happens with your child and more money is being spent towards that. Now life circumstances are pressing in on you and they're forcing you to make a move. Like that pit bull, you either going to let him charge at you and get you, or you're going to run. But here's the beauty. Here's something that my mentor always taught me. He taught me this. Listen, you can make a decision. You can change the direction of your life. You can decide no mas, no more, whenever you want to. You don't need these outside circumstances pressing in on you, causing you to make a decision. Because guess what? You're not in control of your life. Life is controlling you. Life is pushing you. Life is bossing you around. You're the leading lady of your life. You write this script. You're the star of this movie. You write down what you're going to do next. Okay, things happen that are out of our control, but you control how you respond to life. You don't have to let life keep busting you upside the head before you get it together and you start doing what's right. You don't have to wait until the doctor tells you if you don't lose weight, you're going to have sugar diabetes and die, like your mama, like your daddy did. You don't have to keep going through that, ladies. You don't have to wait for that man to tell you, oh, you know what, I'm going to try to work it out, when you know he's dogging you out. When you know it in your heart that is not right for you, you can make a decision on your own. Say, look, hold up, no more. You don't have to wait for this person to tell you, you know what, you're right, it ain't working. You already know it's not working. You don't have to wait to be fired. You don't have to wait to be let off to start building your side hustle and working it. Take ownership of your life. Become your own motivation. And until you can get to that point where your word is bond, where you do what you say you're going to do, it takes practice every single day. Until you can do that, guess what? You can borrow my motivation. You can borrow my confidence in you. You can learn and glean from my life story of where I've been and where I've been and where I'm going and where I'm at. You can go to the Bible and be inspired. You can read stories of women who have overcome. There's no excuse. There is no lack of motivation. Read a book. You could turn on a TV and guess what? There will be a word for you to motivate you. But you have to stop depending upon outside sources to motivate you. You make the decision. If you're overweight and you want to lose weight, guess what? Don't wait on that doctor to tell you. Don't wait until you go to the beach and you can't chase after your kids. Don't wait until you can't make it up the stairs. Don't wait. You can change. You be the motivation that you need. That beautiful woman you see in the mirror, let her motivate you to be better and to do better. That is how you get unstuck. Let me go over here to the comments because I sometimes get, it's just that I feel my heart goes out to women. You know, I used to be stuck. I felt like I was stuck because I had no options. I had no power. I had no voice in the matter. That is a lie. You have a voice. You have a choice and you have power. You got to own that. It takes practice, but when are you going to start practicing this? When are you going to change your conversation? When are you going to get around people who think, differently than you and want to empower you and help you? When are you going to stop making excuses? When are you going to stop giving yourself too many outs and too many chances to just, not do what you say you're going to do? It's up to you. It's not about a man. It's not about a doctor. It's not about your job. It's about what you want. You are the leading lady in this script. You're the leading lady. Stop acting like an extra. You're the leading lady. I'm going to go over here to the comments. Y'all done got me riled up over here. And let me know. Let me know. I mentioned earlier, anyone who wanted some on-the-spot coaching. I'm kind of doing it as we go, but if you have questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them. So, yeah, so Therese, I believe that you should save 10% or more. I really do. I believe you should tithe, and I believe you should save 10% or more. And actually, I'm going to leave a link in here. Have you ever heard of the Budgetnista? And I believe she's the Dream Catchers. You should really check out her challenge. I think her current challenge is about credit and improving your credit, and she has a money challenge. So I'm going to leave the link for that so you can check her out because that is her whole territory. So Therese. Yeah, that's good. You definitely want to save your money. Definitely want to do that. Is there anyone who has any questions about what I just taught you about motivation and stop depending upon outside motivation? Is there anyone? And as you as I wait, I will definitely answer your questions. Yes, definitely. Tiffany on Facebook. Yes. So as I'm waiting for some comments to come in, I'm going to recap those 3 tips for you because I'm going to keep it nice and sweet and short tonight. How to get unstuck, ladies. 1, face your fears. Get honest. Go toe to toe with yourself, the woman in the mirror. 2, stop being indecisive. Make a decision. Stop giving yourself too many choices because that confuses you. Keep the main thing when you make a decision, when you need to make one. Keep the core of what you want at the center, and that will guide you. Your heart and wisdom will guide you each and every time. And the 3rd one, motivation. You have to find your motivation. You have to become your own motivation. Stop depending upon life, slap you upside the head, strip you down. Like with me, I knew that the relationship I was in, it wasn't a healthy one, but it took me to the brink of not being able to really look myself in the mirror and respect myself because I knew that I wasn't living my truth. And that was hard for me. It was such a tough decision, but we let things linger and fester because we're too afraid to make a decision. And because we need life or we need people to push us, slap us, strip us, all these negative things. You don't need negative things that happen to you to make a good choice. Or make a decision that's best for you. You don't need bad things to happen. So let's change that mindset in 2017. All right. So yes, the Budgetnista. So I have a question from Annie. Annie is asking, she says, her pastor says, don't wait for me to pump and prime you. Pump and prime. You should be there when you walk in the door. Preach, sister, preach. Yeah, and that's pastors do that too. There's a lot of them pumping you up, getting you motivated, getting you excited. That wears on leaders. That wears on coaches. That wears on people. You got to stop that, and you have to learn how to encourage yourself. And so when people tell me they're stuck, I'm like, they're afraid of something. They're afraid to make a decision, and they don't know how to motivate themselves. And what may motivate you may not motivate me. Some people may be like my niece, she's motivated by money. And that's all right. And I don't judge her. Me, when I was making a lot of the decisions when I was homeless, it was my son. My baby was my motivation. Like we were in this custody battle, and I needed to spend more time with my son. So I needed a place of my own. So when it came a time for me to get this new apartment, even though I didn't have all the funds, Elisa, I was guided by, I need to spend more time with my baby, and I was willing to do whatever it took, even though I didn't have the money, and God blessed me. So all I'm saying to you is, listen, don't let indecision, don't let what you see stop you from making a decision. And that motivation, you have to find something that anchors you. You have to find something that anchors you and something that pushes you. And it doesn't have to be bad things. You don't have to wait until someone dies to start appreciating and loving them. You don't have to wait until bad things happen to start making good choices. That's where I'm coming from on motivation. So before I get off of here, I told you today was going to be nice and simple. I want to see, are there any more questions? So yes, Elisa says, would you please elaborate more on how to get started making online income using creativity when you have small investment capital? Okay, here's the deal. Social media. Social media is your best friend when it comes to getting started with a business idea without much capital. Because the main thing about a business idea is you need eyeballs on this idea. You need people to know that you exist. You need people to know that your idea exists. So you need to become friends with social media. YouTube is a free platform. It is costing me nothing right now. Of course, like Wi-Fi, whatever, but it's costing me nothing right now to be on here. And I call this ministering. I call it like sharing. It costs me nothing to do this. What's stopping you from getting on here telling people about your business or your idea? What's stopping you from getting on Facebook and telling people about your business and your idea? What's stopping you from getting on Periscope, on Instagram? Those things work. I earn all of my money, a big portion of my money from Facebook. And I don't pay the Facebook ads. I don't even run ads. And now YouTube is becoming a way of me getting traffic to earn money. That's why I'm saying that's creativity, using social media. Also, I have a group called Laptop, Wi-Fi, and Selly, and I created something called the Gaga for Google Challenge. How many of you have a Gmail account? How many of you took the time to look at the different free resources that Google gives you? You don't need Microsoft Word to get started. You can use Google Docs. You don't need PowerPoint and pay for that. You can use Google Slides. It's all free. Research and you shall find. That's what I mean by creativity. There are so many free and low-cost resources to help you get started. Now, what I would invest in, or if you can't invest in a coach or a mentor, is I would follow people that I admire. And, if they send you an email, don't just open an email and read it. Look at which service do they use. How did they write that email? What did they say in that email? How do they perform on social media? Start looking at what people do and paying attention and start modeling. That is where creativity comes from when you don't have a lot of capital to get started. All right. Okay. So then Elisa's asking, what if you have nothing to promote? Well, the thing is, you need a business idea. And I'm pretty sure you do have something. You do have something to promote. It's up to you to dig within and to pull it out and to see what it is. And here's the thing about business, ladies. Let no one fool you. You are in business to earn a profit by solving problems. Business is nothing more than solving problems for people and them paying you to solve that problem. That is all business is. The bigger the problem you can solve, the bigger your paycheck. That's all business is. Find a problem that needs to be solved. Offer your solution through social media, through all these free and low-cost resources. Get in front of as many people who will be interested in that solution as you can. Present it to them. Get paid. And I'm keeping it overly simple because a lot of times when we, like I said, going back to indecision, when you put all this extra stuff, what about this and what about that? It stops you from getting out there. Find a problem. Figure out a solution that makes sense for you to present it. Get it in front of as many people as you can using free and low-cost resources like social media. Put a value on it. And then you offer it to them. That is business. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. I can't, at this point, I can't complicate it. I won't overcomplicate it. And I can do some business seminars, which I plan to do, where I can go more into depth, but that is the basis of business. And you can go to Harvard, Harvard Business School. You can go to Fox at Temple. You can go to Wharton. That is the basis of being in business. All right. Yes, simple works. So, hello, VJ. All right. Do we have any more questions? Because we're almost at the 9 o'clock hour. And I want to keep these to an hour. All right, so if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to present to everyone something that I want you to take a look at. Okay, so everybody, hold on. I want you to take a look at some stuff. Hold on. All right, I want you guys to take a look at something. All right, so here we go. Those of you who are interested, and this is a great question actually that Alyssa asked, right? Elisa asked this question. She asked, how do you get started? You know, how do you earn money? I mean, you know, how do you get started in business when you don't have a lot of money? And one of the platforms that I really want to share with everyone is YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube is such an awesome platform. Look at all of you who are on here with me right now. And this is totally free. Okay, so I want to show you tell you guys about an upcoming webinar, a free webinar that I have going on. It is called Busting 5 Myths About YouTube, and it is to inspire coaches and entrepreneurs and coaches, entrepreneurs, small business owners, people who want to get a brand or a message out. It is to inspire you to use YouTube, all right, in your business to market. And when is it? It is January the 18th, 2017. That is this Wednesday coming up. It is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here is where you can register. It's bit.ly/laptop Wi-Fi and sell. So bit.ly/laptop Wi-Fi sell. Hi, Sharon. So listen, this is how you can take advantage of this upcoming webinar. Okay, so this is the link. I want you to register. It's this Wednesday coming up. It's at 9 p.m. When you register, you will actually be given a worksheet that will help you to bust these 5 myths, because there's no reason why you should not be using YouTube in your business. There's no reason why you should not be using YouTube in your business. So January 18th, 2017, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is where you go to register. All right, so where you go to register. Okay, so I am back. And I really want you to take advantage of this upcoming webinar, because it's like Elisa was saying, what do you do when you don't have a lot of capital? I'm telling you, social media and platforms like YouTube is the way to go. It is it's the place to be. YouTube. You need to have this in your mix. And just to let you know, the past my team and I, we did some number crunching. In the past like 2 months and some change, I generated over $7,500 in sales from YouTube. Yes, I'm predominantly on Facebook, but from YouTube, from doing things like this and making an offer and letting people know what I have going on, I have earned $7,500. People joined my program. Some of them are on the line right now. And, you know, they've joined my programs. They became my clients. And I want to teach you how to take advantage of YouTube, how to get your channel set up, how to monetize it, how to get your message out there, and how to build your brand and build your bank account. That's what I do, baby. So that's what I want to help you do. I'm going to type the link in the comments, okay? So I'm going to go over here to some more of the questions. I have one more comment, and this is from Sharon. Sharon says, you sound like you are speaking to me. I am torn between early childhood education and social work. What do you think? To me, early childhood education and social work go hand in hand. And yeah, so Sharon, you definitely need to get on my mailing list, join my group, because that is what I do, showing people how to take what they're currently doing and how to marry it with what they want to do. And you will be surprised how so many of the tools and the resources that you've had from, you know, the current industry you're in or your past industry will serve you in the one where you want to go. So to me, when I look at that, social work and early childhood education, they go hand in hand. So does anyone have any questions? Any more questions for me? I really want you to join. I really want you to join me for this upcoming webinar. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. All right, you guys. So does anyone have any more questions? I'm going to look over to the comments and see if I have any more questions. Nope, doesn't look like I have any more. So I am actually going to go in and I'm going to leave the link to the, I'm going to leave the link to the webinar. So I really want you all to join me for the webinar. All right. Okay, so it doesn't look as if I have any more questions. We're almost 5 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. I like to keep these Biz Labs to an hour, and I hope that you have found value in this YouTube Live. If you found value, please type value in the comments. I always love to see that you have found value. Please like this. Please share it. Please tell your friends about what I am doing over here every Sunday at 8 p.m. unless it's like a holiday or something else. I'm here. Join, get on my mailing list, join my Facebook group for women entrepreneurs where I show you those free and low cost resources, where I inspire and encourage you. I want you to join me. Most importantly, join my webinar that is coming up on Wednesday, January 18th, 2017 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You will get a worksheet that will help you to bust those 5 myths that people have about YouTube that stops them from using this free platform to build their brand, to build their business, and to build their bank account. All right, so I'm going to look one more time. Thank you. You've all found value. Thank you so much. All right, so I will see you on the other side. Just one more time. Does anybody have any more questions? One more time. One more time for questions. If you have any more questions, hurry up and type it because I will answer. I like this on-the-spot coaching. I really, really do enjoy it. I really, really do. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me Twitter. Everything is Shalina Diva. Follow me there. I'm going to become more active on Instagram. I'm going to become more active on YouTube, more active even here on YouTube with more videos. So I'm going to do these lives every Sunday, but I promise you I'm going to flood you with new videos, more business videos, shorter business videos, life and inspiration videos, beauty, hair. That's how I got started on YouTube with hair. I'm going to bring all those back to you. I promise you. All right. So if I don't have, if I don't have any more questions, yeah, Lisa, that's my name. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't have any more questions, and remember, Therese definitely hit up the Budgetnista about any money questions. That is her lane. Investing, all that stuff. That is her lane. All right, everyone. I thank you so much. I'm so glad you found value. And guess what? I will see you on the other side. So I want you to be blessed. I want you to look fear in the face. I want you to start owning and making your decisions because they're yours, baby. And then I want you to find your motivation, find your why, and hopefully, ultimately, you become your own motivation and you become your own why. All right, because you write your story. No one else can write it for you except you. All right, so I will see you on the other side. Hopefully, I'll see you on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the 5 minutes about YouTube, because if you're asking me questions about business, there's no reason why you should not be on that webinar, because I'm going to show you YouTube is a world all of its own. You guys are even on here watching me. Why can't people be on here watching you? Why can't you be telling us about your webinar? Why can't you be telling us to follow you on social media? Why can't you be selling your programs and products and services? It's fair. It's a fair playing field. But you got to learn the rules, all right? And I want to help you learn those rules. All right, everyone. So I will see you on the other side. Be blessed.